Hi you guys. Sorry about this. This is my third let's try that again. This is my third time trying to take this video because every time I take it something happens, like a cat walks in the room and breaks stuff, or well, they didn't break anything, but hey. I do apologise first of all for the quality of this video. As you can probably tell by my glasses, I'm using a laptop and just a laptop camera, and I'm in a very echoey room. So I do apologise about that. But the reason I'm doing this video, I haven't done videos in a long time for YouTube. I normally just kind of post them on my usual Facebook, that kind of thing. The reason I'm doing this video is because I became mildly a little bit obsessed with hamsters and hamster care. The reason for that is because I was away paying my council tax, walked past a pet store on my way home, and fell in love with the cutest little hamster ever. His name's Cookie Chrisp, and I bought him. I brought him home. I didn't have any information other than what I knew as a kid, which turned out to be all wrong, but I didn't know that at the time. So I've been doing a lot of research and things like that on hamster care, and one of the things that I came across was something called Torpor. Now, a lot of people actually think that Torpor is a type of hibernation. It's similar, but it's not the exact same. So I'm going to go over some tips and advice of how to either prevent it or help a hamster that goes into Torpor. I'm also going to include a couple of people that I would always recommend when it comes to health advice in the video as well. I'm going to start off first of all by explaining what hibernation and torpor actually are, because they are two different things. Hibernation is when an animal such as a bear goes into a planned long-term sleep. Okay, so they'll do this for maybe about 7 months of the year, roughly. I could be wrong there, depends on the bear, I suppose. So what they'll do is around maybe, I don't know, kind of like autumn or fall time, they'll go and they'll gather a whole load of food and they'll eat it and eat it and eat it. Then they'll go to sleep, and they'll sleep pretty much all the way through winter. And like I said, this can last about 7 months of certain animals, for certain animals, sorry. Torpor is something similar, but it's not the exact same. Torpor is when, and this can happen with people as well, this is how hypothermia starts. It's when a person or a hamster becomes that cold that they become very sluggish and slow, and eventually their energy is pretty drained to the point where they have to sleep. And that's just a way of them conserving more energy and trying to kind of like sleep it off. It's like us when we get really cold, we get kind of tired and sluggish, that kind of thing. The problem is with torpor, it is a normal thing. Most people have hamsters that go into torpor and they wouldn't even notice. They maybe just thought their hamster was sleeping because that's what it does look like. Now, the problem is if a hamster doesn't heat up in time, it can lead to more health problems later on, or unfortunately it can lead to death, which is why I'm making this video. Okay, so tips on how best to prevent it. Make sure the room's warm, or provide them with bedding that's going to keep them warm. A lot of people will use substrates like Carefresh. They're brilliant for hamsters. They're brilliant for pretty much any rodent, to be honest. If you're ever wanting to get a decent one, that is probably the best one. Aspen as well is quite good, as long as you've got a wee bit of Carefresh, I would say, mixed in there. The reason for Aspen is because hamsters and gerbils and things like that, they like to bury. So they like to kind of hide and dig holes, and so for them, they'll be able to keep heat inside that tunnel. So that's quite good. And obviously, like I said, have a wee bit of Carefresh, because Aspen, depending on how it's shredded, can be a bit jaggy. So they'll need a wee bit of Carefresh mixed in there just to kind of like cuddle into, I suppose. Now, if your hamster does go into torpor, it will look as if they've passed away, okay? So if that's what has happened, don't panic. If you think they're dead, take your time, okay? What to do is leave them alone for about maybe 15 minutes to half an hour. Check on them every now and then, even if you get a wee spoon and just check to see if they're breathing, that kind of thing. Check to see if whiskers are moving, anything like that. Any signs of life is a good thing, okay? Now, if the hamster has passed away, they'll become stiff, and you won't, like, say for example, you pick them up and move like a limb, it'll be very stiff and hard to move. Sadly, that does probably mean that they've passed away. In some cases, some hamsters do go stiff, but all you do there is, again, just follow these steps if you're not sure. Okay, first step, warm up the house, or move the hamster from the cold room into a warm room. If that step doesn't work, use your own body heat, take your hamster in your hands and just hold on to him and just give him a wee cuddle and that kind of thing. Make sure they're okay. And finally, if that one doesn't work, third steps, but get yourself a hot water bottle, or even just like a bottle with warm water in it. Make sure it's warm water, not boiling water. Wrap a wee towel around it, and sit your hamster on top of that, constantly checking to make sure that there's any signs of life, okay? If that step doesn't work, please take your hamster to a vet, okay? For two reasons. First of all, if the hamster has passed away, they'll definitely be able to confirm it, okay? If you're not sure, they will definitely be able to confirm it. Second, if you have got a hamster that's in Torpor, they will be better equipped, even if it's like, I don't know, I think some vets will have like incubators and stuff like that. They'll be able to put them in there and that'll heat them up a wee bit. I could be wrong if they do that, but I've never had my hamster go into Torpor that I couldn't bring back. So those are the steps that I would follow. If at any point you're concerned or there's any problems, take your hamster to a vet right away. I see a lot of people, particularly, I love Hoppin' Hammy, and I think it's Aaron's Hamsters. Let me just, not Aaron's Hamster, Aaron's. 2 wee seconds. Yeah, Aaron's Animals. Those are the guys that I always follow when it comes to hamster care. And I see a lot of people asking, help, there's something wrong with my hamster, help, there's something wrong and I don't know what to do. If you don't know what to do, don't think about online as a source for help. Best people to speak to is a vet. If anybody else needs any other help and it's maybe something small, by all means ask people online, just stay away from Yahoo. But in general, guys, I would always recommend taking your hamster to a vet if you think anything's out of the ordinary, just to be absolutely sure. But yeah, that is 1:30 in the morning. I'm actually quite peckish, so I'm going to wrap this up now. Bid yous all adieu and go get me some midnight snackies. If anybody's got any questions, like I said, I'm going to be posting up in the description below Hoppin' Hammy and Aaron's Animals. They are the two best people to kind of, when it comes to hamster care, I've found. So yeah, if any other problems, by all means, check out their videos. They might have some things in there that I haven't gone over, particularly Erin's animals, because she's got one on Torpor, and it goes into a bit more detail than mine. So, but yeah, no, that's pretty much done. I'm going to go get food now. Bye!